light means stop, right? See, again, you couldn't pass the 6th grade. More wonderful proof. I love how we insult people in order. See, you can't insult. When the Globies go to court, do they just laugh at the judge? Is that how that works? Like, when the judge says, "Hey, John Smith, did you murder this guy?" What's your proof that that other person did it? Oh, that's your proof? Just giggling.
Physics and logic on a level supreme. It's a curved reality, splitting Flerf dreams.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Curious UK here. So I was checking out one of Mikey's latest live streams where he went to the Thunder in the Valley Country Music Festival, or at least he went kind of across the street from it, and stood around for a while and then moved on because, well, you know, people are just laughing at him. It's funny that he thinks because people drive past that somehow they see and read everything he has to say. Dude, you're standing by a highway, nobody's really seeing it. Or read your shit. Most people probably, if they do see it, they probably, if they have seen it around, you know, you just crap, and they're probably talking smack in the cars and calling you a dumbass. But let's check it out. I'm going to take a few bits from this because it was like a 4-hour live stream that he did. So I'm going to take a few bits and go from there because Mikey did a lot of just driving around, yammering on and just wasting time. Really, it was a pretty unproductive, like, you know, stream of him doing his activism. So let's check it out. Hey folks, don't forget to hit that like button if you like the video, subscribe to my channel, helps me out loads, hit the bell icon so you know when the video's up. Now let's laugh at some derp.
So we got tons and tons of RCMP out here. There's like, I don't know how many out here, lots. I guess there's one right in front of us, there's one on the highway there, there's 3 or 4 of them across the road here. This guy's coming to talk as usual.
Just a bit of context here. Mikey is kind of parked at the corner of like a dirt road and the highway, the kind of 2-lane, 4-lane highway, and he's actually walking out amongst traffic on the dirt road as people are coming up to go across and stuff like that. He's walking between the cars, walking back and forth, walking amongst traffic like an absolute complete freaking tool and dumbass. So the RCMP got on it and they decided to come over and have a little word and tell him, dude, stay out of traffic before you get hit by a car. Like, that's just like people coming off the highway, people coming onto it, and you're walking amongst the cars holding your stupid derpy sign. And Mikey takes a lot of offense to this. So let's check it out.
So let's see what this numbskull says. You know what, we got 2 of them. Hello? Wonderful.
All right?
Wonderful.
Yeah. Hot.
Very hot.
Yeah. What's going on?
Well, better than the Regina City Police.
Welcome.
I'm suing them.
How are you?
Possibly for this communication.
Yeah, that lawsuit, Mikey, of you guys Regina Police, it's about as much hope as your CSA lawsuit that you did. This one could actually end up being worse for you. But hey, you keep pretending, buddy. This is your new thing for this year. We'll watch it play out and have a good laugh when we see it at the end.
Because I have every right to stand right here.
Yeah, but you're kind of blocking traffic.
I'm aware of that. I'm going back and forth. I'm watching.
No, but then can you just go, like, get off the...
Well, again, this is Canada. I have every right to stand where I want.
No, Mikey, you don't have every right to stand wherever you want. If you're standing somewhere where you're putting yourself or others in danger and you're creating some sort of nuisance, the police can make you move. You don't have the right to stand wherever you want. Sorry, buddy. And you need to read that Charter of Rights once again.
Okay? You're not going to tell me to stand there, okay? I'm not a dog, okay?
Yeah, but I'm just telling you that there's so much traffic here right now.
I'm aware of it. I've been doing this for 3 years here, buddy.
Okay. That's what I've been doing.
It's good. Oh, the whole province has seen me.
Okay, so...
You're not getting my name, by the way, either.
Mikey, 2 things about that princess. 1, they're only trying to show concern for you because you keep walking out in fucking traffic and you could get yourself hurt or cause somebody to swerve, or, you know, you're presenting danger to yourself and other people. 2, Mikey, they already have your fucking name. 1, to run your license plate, and 2, that's on the back of your fucking car on your freaking billboard thing you have on top of your car. You have Michael Allen on there, you absolute fucking idiot. So why would they even ask for your name when you literally just handed it to them? Fucking hell, mate. Like, come on, you know this shit. Like, you, yeah, fuck.
Guys, I know my charter rights. I can pull it out of the car if you want to see it. You ain't getting shit from me, buddy. I'm telling you, man, I'll sue you too. Going after my rights. Look at this.
Mikey, literally nobody is infringing on your rights to tell you to stay out of the road for your own safety and the safety of others. That's not infringing your rights. That's looking after you because you're too stupid to look after yourself.
This guy, I'm gonna go get. Is there a call number for this call or anything like that? A call number?
Like a file number?
Yeah.
Most likely, yeah. I just have to search it up.
Okay, I'd like that from you because I'm gonna phone the dispatch and write a complaint. So I'd watch what you guys do, man. I would watch.
So what's your whole reason for being here?
My other freedom is to be quiet. So good luck.
Is it me or is Mikey determined to not make friends with the police? So not only is he having a go with the Regina Police Service, but now he's having a go with the RCMP, which is the National Police. Wow. Mikey's heading to a really, really hard time here because if he's going to start acting like a knob to the police, suddenly their patience, and kindness they've been showing him and them being so tolerant of him, he's going to start wearing really, really thin. And that could get him on all sorts of stuff. How many times do they let Mikey off for when he's live streaming, not paying attention to the road, seatbelt's not on properly? He's just going to draw attention to himself. And believe it or not, Mikey, the police can actually start watching your live streams and start racking up all those charges. Before you know it, suddenly you're getting pulled over all the time and you have no idea. Yeah, you know what? Those traffic violations, you're documenting them all the time, buddy. You did loads on this one. Sitting there, literally turned around looking away while driving forward and looking behind you. On one occasion, staring at the phone, reading the live chat while driving at highway speeds. Wow, yeah. Keep up, Mikey. You're gonna find that suddenly you're gonna have a really miserable time, and 2026 is not gonna be your year, buddy. I'm only just trying to help you and try to give you a warning, but hey, keep doing what you're doing. I'll sit back and watch and have a little giggle.
What's your badge numbers and your names?
52666 and it's Clausen.
Okay. What's yours?
Constable Schmidt 70307.
Okay, I wish you guys luck. I'm trespassed from exhibition grounds, okay? From standing there doing this. I have freedom of speech in this country, freedom of religion, freedom of press.
Gee, Mikey, so you have freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and freedom of press. Well, yeah, you have freedom of speech to a point, as long as you're not like inciting hate or violence and stuff like that. You're not press, and you're preaching the flat Earth. So, are you saying it's religion? I thought you said you weren't religious, Mikey, but yep, it seems to be when it's convenient. Suddenly, it's freedom of religion, Mr. I'm not religious, but yet you preach the flat Earth all the time because it's your religion. Flat Earth is a cult. I don't care what some people say. It's a cult, and it's your religion there, Mikey. You're a cult member.
And if you come up after me off those, I will sue you guys, okay? That is a right. It goes rights, then laws, then feelings in this country. My rights, then your stupid laws, and then feelings.
But you got to throw in safety.
Bye-bye.
Right?
I'm very safe. I'm aware of the traffic. These are all adults driving. I'm an adult. I can see them. They can see me.
He's a what? Adult? Adult? How do you say that? Mikey, it's an adult, not adult. Come on, Mikey. I thought you knew how to speak English. Let me just do this again, Mikey. You claim you are an adult, not an adult. Come on, dude, do better. Yeah. I thought you always go on about people, speaking correctly. Dude, it's like a 5-letter word. Oh, Mikey, physically, you're an adult. You're a 50-some-year-old man. Mentally, that's debatable. I'm going to say no. And because of that, and you don't have the mental capacity and the mental maturity, these adults who actually, act like adults, are trying to look after your safety, and as I said, and the safety of others. Because if you walk out in front of somebody and they try to swerve and miss you and you get a TA, then you're going to probably blame the other person, but you're the one that caused it. So, walking out in traffic, that's not an adult thing to do. Walking around the cars on the motorway, on the highway, yeah, that's not what adults do. I'm sorry, not sane adults at least. But Mikey, you know what? Maybe the police will just turn a blind eye next time something like last Canada Day, not this one that happened this year, but last year happens. And maybe they'll just not see anything. You know what I mean? Because you're an adult and you do adult things.
You got people coming off this road, you got people coming from over there.
Where would you like me to stand? On top of that pole?
I just asked you to stand back a little bit.
I'm good. If I get killed, I get killed. That's not your fault.
Well,
Just one less person you got to worry about.
that's why we're here. We want to make sure that you don't get hurt.
Mikey, you don't know this because I don't actually think you know fuck all about the law, Canadian law or any other laws. But the police have something called a duty of care, and part of it, when they're on site there in an area, the duty of care to look after the safety of the public, right? The whole protect and serve thing, all that. So yeah, them saying this is them actually doing their duty because they have the legal obligation to look after everybody in the area. So yeah, maybe you need to learn more about the law. And just because you think I don't know what I'm talking about, years ago I did a diploma in police sciences and law enforcement. So I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I probably know more about this shit than you do.
Yeah, well, good for that. Who's the one with the guns? You're not going to shoot me like the Americans do, are you? Well, they have freedom of speech too. They got shot for that. Fucked up country that they live in too.
Listen, unless you're threatening a police officer's life or the life of others, they're going to keep their weapon holstered. And normally police try to go for the non-lethal ways, like pepper spray, taser, stuff like that, before they go to sorry about that. Some guy's got a massive freaking intake leak and he doesn't want to fix his fucking piece of shit van. Yeah, Mikey, I don't know if you realize this, but if a police officer actually pulls his weapon and even fires off one round, even like if it's let's say a warning shot, quote unquote, there is a shitload of paperwork, and they normally have to give up that weapon, especially if they shoot somebody, for forensics, and they have to go on leave, and depending on the investigation, internal affairs, there's a whole bunch of stuff. Look, the last thing a police officer wants to do is to pull their weapon and have to use it. In fact, there's a lot of police officers that go whole entire careers and never have to pull their weapon in the line of duty, especially RCMP who work in small cities, small towns, stuff like that. Are normally fairly peaceful and able to resolve things with people who at least have some decorum of sanity.
Just leave me alone, man. You're going to cause yourself some problems. Yeah, don't run with scissors, don't eat yellow snow. I know that.
Alright, have a good day.
Well, in this case, I think the RCMP feel they at least fulfilled their duty of care. You have been quite belligerent and difficult to deal with. They've logged it down, they've logged that they spoke to you. Obviously it'll be on their personal body cams and stuff like that, and their microphones, and that you completely refused. And so maybe that's enough for them to say, look, we warned him, we told him what to do, and if something happens to you, then I don't know if there's much you can do, Mikey. I mean, there might be something where somebody could do you for walk out in traffic, and you might have to, have a lawsuit in your hands or something like that if it caused damage to somebody's car. But the onus would be on you, buddy, I guess, and you couldn't hold the police accountable.
There you go, walk of shame right there, boys. You're gonna cause yourself problems, boys. Yeah, look at that. See the cops over there? Give them the finger right there. That's for the cops. You know, freedom of expression too. Hey, we got freedom of speech here in Canada. Huh?
The funny thing is, Mikey thinks he's videotaping the police. He forgot to flip his camera around. So he's sitting there thinking he's acting all hard and tough, and he's videotaping himself act like a knobhead. And he's not videotaping the police at all. Oh, Mikey, he's such an idiot.
Huh? Yeah, you want to get educated? Oh, cool. Let's go take some flyers. Here, we'll go take them some flyers. Here, let's go. Okay, we got it. All right, we're taking the cops pictures and flyers, boys and girls. Here we go, guys, right here. We're going across this. Where am I? Am I recording me or you guys? Yeah. Okay, so these guys right here, I thought I was recording them, but I wasn't. We just, I don't know if they're watching my channel or what they're doing, but they said something about my channel.
Now just remember, Mikey was just lipping off at these guys, flipping the bird at them, and acting like a complete cock. And now he's going to go over and talk to them and educate them. Alright, Mikey. Sure. You are. No.
This is entertaining, guys. I got some information if you want it.
Sure, why not?
I got some.
If you had a channel or...
Oh, absolutely. Okay, first of all, I'm going to show you what a real star looks like.
See, Mikey, what you don't understand is what the police are doing. And I've seen this done before at other YouTube channels who sometimes start stepping the line a bit, you know, start causing problems in the public. They're asking for your channel, and they're going to start watching. But not for the reasons you want or think. They're going to start watching you, see what you're up to, see where you go, see where you regularly go, and see what laws you're going to break. They're going to start documenting these laws. And since you already documented it for them in nice, you know, high definition, they're going to keep this all documented. And then the police aren't going to be so nice. And they're going to start coming around. They're going to know where you are, what you're doing, and the things you've done. You know, not wearing a seatbelt, driving undue care of attention, harassment, all that other stuff. And suddenly you're going to start finding that police seem to be not so nice, not so tolerant. Seem to start, you know, arresting you and filing charges against you. How do they know all this stuff? Because you told them, Mikey. You gave them everything they need. All the evidence they'll ever want to need. And you just told them where to find it. Good job, Mikey. You're about to have a hell of a summer.
That's the Star Sirius. I recorded that with binoculars, and I'm training other people, 5 or 6 people, to record stars like, oops, sorry, it's upside down. But anyways, that's the Star Sirius.
Okay, cool.
Multiple stars like that. Mars and the planets generally look like this with a smaller frequency on them. And that's my YouTube channel there.
Oh, can I take one of those?
Well, absolutely. I got facts and prove me wrongs on the inside. And
Cool.
You know, so when he's talking about stars and stuff, and cops like, oh yeah, well, cool, whatever, I don't give a shit. Here's a YouTube channel. Oh, could I have one of those? There's a reason why, Mikey. There's a reason why. It's not what you think it's for.
yeah. And if you got wives, you can show them what stars look like.
I don't got wives.
You don't have
No,
wives?
not me
You
either.
don't have more than one?
I don't got wives. All right, much appreciated.
Where are you guys from?
West Saskatchewan Marshal Service.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Provincial Police Service.
Oh, okay.
Just fired up. We're based out of Prince Albert.
Oh, yeah, cool. So they just hired extras, I guess, eh?
They brought us in for help. We're going to be helping do traffic here. Once
Yeah.
busy, so.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay out of the way, but it's just,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get out and stay back at the same time. But yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, so. Yeah, what's
Yeah.
the I'm sure
Yeah.
that's what they were telling you. Just
Oh,
stay on the
sure,
road,
yeah.
make sure you're not-
There's other things on my, so I use my,
Hey, Mikey, you know, you need to learn to listen. You know, it's a skill, and people need to learn it, like you. Because you didn't listen to what that trooper is saying to you, that sheriff. He was saying to you the exact same things the RCMP was saying to you. Stay out of the way of traffic, don't stand in traffic, don't walk through the cars as they're trying to move, and to stay safe. Everything they said, these guys are reiterating, but you don't listen. You don't like to listen to things you don't like. So like I said, Mikey, Listening is a skill. A skill you need to learn.
I do my own content, okay? So I'm very honest. I don't lie to people. I record the truth. Me and a buddy in Israel has recorded the firmament. I don't know if you've ever heard of the firmament or the dome above us, but there is 1,000% a dome above us. Space is literally a cartoon. And I'm actually...
That's why you got the sign.
Oh, absolutely. It's all computer generated.
You know what, man? Not surprised.
Yeah. No, that's... So... Yeah, no, just look at it with an open mind, and thanks for even yelling across the street at me, but yeah.
Yeah, no worries. That's what we were curious. I saw you got the camera. I was like,
Yeah.
what if he's recording the show or something?
Yeah.
Take a look.
Right on, guys. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're wondering if you're recording, and if you're doing it live, so that way they can look and see what you're doing, and what else you're getting up to, what you're saying about the police, activities you're getting up to, are you doing legal stuff or not legal stuff, and if what you're documenting, you know, in terms of the law and things like that. See what kind of person you are. Are you okay? Do you like to break the laws? Are you trouble for the police? Yeah, Mikey. That's what they're after. And you're going to give them all the footage they want. Dude. Thinking. You need to learn how to think just a little bit. Police are onto you, buddy. They're onto you. Not the way you want them to be.
Yeah. Yeah, see, those guys are good. Why can't these fuckers over here do something about that, you know? I'm going to highlight these guys. Wow. You know, like they're going over and above their, it's really hard to cross the street here. That's okay, I'll record my accident. I'll record my live accident getting hit by a car. So yeah.
Fair enough, Mikey. That's the police you're trying to avoid, buddy. When I was about 14 years old, I had a car hit me when I was on a bike. I was riding straight through. He turned a corner. Luckily, he was going to stop, sped up to try to beat the car that's going behind me, and smacked me. And lucky for me, I was seeing him just a corner of my eye in time. Then moved my leg out of the way, or else I would have snapped my leg in half. I ended up with multiple lacerations to my head because I was a dumbass and didn't wear a helmet because I grew up in the 80s and it's just something I never really did. Yeah, I got scars all over the top of my head, and I was hurting for a while as a kid, and obviously messed my bike up. My neighbor a couple years ago crossing the street, and a Nissan Juke hit him at about 30 miles an hour, right? About 50 kilometers an hour for you people in Canada. He now has steel rods in his leg. He was messed up for about a year and a half. He's got permanent brain injuries in which he can't smell anything, and he may have early onset dementia. He's only in his 30s, late 30s now, and he still suffers and stuff like that. Now he's gotten better, lucky for him. But yeah, Mikey, ain't no joke getting hit by a car, buddy. And those people on that highway are probably going, well, looks like they're slowing down, so you're probably lucky there. But one guy not looking right, at least 50, well, that's a highway, so it's probably 80 kilometers an hour. Dude, won't end well for you. So this is what the police are trying to avoid, because, well, you think you're in the right, get hit by a 2-ton car, you're going to feel very wrong.
Cool, so yeah, this is unit 905 and his license plate there because he recorded mine. So yeah. Well, that's sweet. They were open-minded about stuff. See, those guys were polite. Why can't you both be polite? They were polite about things. Why can't you? They just said, yeah, we're just concerned about you across the street, but you just took it to the next level. Doesn't need to be like that.
Mikey, in my opinion, those RCMP were nothing but very courteous and nice. They didn't get hostile with you. They didn't call you names. They acted very, very professional. And then when you started, because you instantly, they came over to speak to you and ask you to not walk in traffic, you instantly were nothing but belligerent and disrespectful and acted like a complete knobhead. Buddy, you're the one who actually instigated it right away. And even then, even though you were acting like a complete cock, they were still quite nice and quite courteous with you. This RCMP did nothing wrong. They were nothing but professional, treated you with respect, and all you did was just be a complete another knobhead. So you should be lucky that they were so kind and tolerant with you. But like I said, you keep that shit up. And believe me, I've experienced this when I was younger. I encountered a few dickhead police officers, and guess what? Even though I was a bit of a smart-ass kid, it wasn't nearly as disrespectful as you. Yeah, this coppers freaking, they put me in place, and there's nothing I can do about it. So you're going to encounter the wrong police officer on the wrong day. And some of that tolerant, kind nature that Canadian police have, you can be there.
You should smarten up, you might lose your pension, so don't think it can't happen. So yeah, it's not that hard, guys. Just be decent and I'll be decent, you know? No, that's fantastic. And I get it, I'll stand over here to be out of the way, but nobody's gonna see me over here, so.
So Mikey, go somewhere else then. I mean, is it really that important that you go and hold your stupid ass sign? It doesn't actually make sense, saying space is a cartoon, even though at nighttime we can look up, you know, not very long, I'll be able to look up and see space. Ain't no fucking cartoon. I can look at my telescope. It's far superior to your binoculars. Even your new ones still aren't going to be as good as my telescope. And observe the stars, observe nebulas, observe galaxies, observe the planets as they actually are, because I actually know what the fuck I'm doing. Yeah, space is a cartoon. But I digress. Is it that important to go and show all your stupid derp and put your safety at risk? But as dumb as this freaking little freaking shih tzu that keep walking that side up or shop around a freaking post because she's too much of an idiot to go on the other side. But is it really worth it, buddy? Is it really worth putting yourself at risk just to hold your sign? A few people look at you, they're probably laughing at you and calling you a complete moron anyways. No, I would say not, because guess what? You're not going to do much activism if you're freaking in a hospital with broken bones and in recovery in, you know, months, a year, maybe less, and you think you're in pain now after you've been freaking hit by a freaking 2-ton car doing 80 kilometers an hour, dude. To have, you know what, an hour activism, fucking, it's gonna make no difference. Think for a second, Mikey. I know it's really difficult, and this is a hard thing for you to do. You're not used to doing it. Think for a second, and don't play in traffic. I thought we taught this shit to our kids to don't play in traffic. Man, I know you get the mind of a child, but did you not actually learn something when you're a child?
So anyways, that was an awesome conversation over there. I would love to phone them and give them a compliment, actually, those wonderful marshals over there, or whatever they are. And from Prince Albert, which is cool. And they were, they took my my license plate. They were writing down my license plate number, and don't know what the firmament is now.
Yeah, they'll also know your license plate number, so now, because it's obviously registered to your car, they'll know who you are, because your license is registered to the license plate, where you live, and what kind of vehicle you have, and then they can also keep an eye on you. They'll log it down. Obviously, it's not the hard to see vehicle anyways, because you make it quite, easy to see and recognizable. And they can actually, they'll have different cameras, because in Canada is slowly getting stuff more like what the UK has. We have stuff called ANPR. Different cameras come up to flag to a master database, and they can track you all through the country and everything. Go through stuff, city link, all that stuff like that. They can track your movements, where you are, and places you go, tickets, stuff like that. So yeah, and police have something kind of similar, probably not as widespread, because obviously Canada's a lot more wide spread out, and stuff like that. But definitely Saskatchewan, it looks like now they have a sheriff's service, RCMP, as well as city police, and they'll have a master database. So yeah, you know, Mikey, how you said you weren't gonna give your name, dude? You got your license plate number, you got your name already. Shit, you have your driver's license, you're registered. And if you didn't have a driver's license, that car would be gone. So I know you have a driver's license. I know you have insurance. I know you have registration. I know every year you pay for your registration for your vehicle, get your tags, your stickers, you put them on your license plates. Yeah. So, remember Mikey, I grew up in Canada. Next province over. I know all this shit. Like, fuck, it's not that hard. So, yeah, dude. You're such an idiot. I'm not gonna give my name. Fuck, I don't have your name. Like I said, it's on the back of your car, you're freaking on your sign, and it's on your freaking license, which is linked to your license plate. Fuck.
They'll be like, what does that say? Oh, the firmament. What is that?
Mikey, honestly, don't give a fuck. Don't give a shit what it says. All it cares what your license plate number is, where you live, who you are, what kind of vehicle, and do you have any driving infractions, anything outstanding, shit like that. That's all they're gonna look into. I'm probably not even gonna give it two thoughts of what the hell it means, really.
What is that stuff, eh? And I'm not a dog, guys. Like I said, I'm not a dog. I know lots of people tell me what to do this, don't do that. Why don't you reverse it? Why don't you erase this video? Why don't you do this on your YouTube channel? Why don't you do that? Why don't you do this? I'm like, holy cow. Why don't you go do it? I wanted to know what the stars look like, so I went and recorded them.
Yeah, you've been doing a really shit job of doing that too. Like fucking garbage. Everything you put out was just absolutely full of chromatic aberration, distortions, digital noise, all sorts of shit. Compression, and more compression, and more compression. You know, processing, your little phones trying to do the best you can with the tiny little sensors. So yeah, Mikey, I know you wanted to know what the stars look like. Or did you? No, what you wanted to do is put out stuff that you think what the stars look like, and you manipulate all your footage until it gets to what you wanted to do, to make them look like, as long as they don't look like what NASA and everybody else puts out, which sometimes you actually have gotten in the past, and now you say it's crap footage. I mean, actually, it's the other way around. But you're too much down the rabbit hole, got too much cognitive bias to actually accept the fact that stuff that people actually know what they're doing are saying that your shit's bullshit, because it is, and what they're doing is because they've actually got years, time, effort, proper equipment, looked in it, studied it, and know what they're doing, and they're getting the same results. You know, millions of people all around the globe all get the same results I do, and a lot of times a lot better. I'm not saying my results are good, but they're far better than yours and a lot more accurate.
I wanted to know if there was a firmament, so I documented it. So there you go. They're probably just sitting here in their vehicle just waiting for me to do something wrong. Don't eat yellow snow, don't run with scissors.
Mikey, they're just sitting there waiting to see what you do. Now, funny enough, you actually did do what they asked. They asked you to stay off the side, stay out of traffic, and make sure that you weren't going to get hurt. By the way, there still is no firmament. You never proved it. Your digital noise and chromatic aberration doesn't prove there's a firmament. It proves you don't know what the fuck you're doing. And by the way, if anybody asking about the right eye, simple thing is, like I said, I train in MMA, and somebody got lucky shot it. Now this next part here I just included because I'm a mechanic of nearly almost 30 years in the trade, and I thought it's quite interesting to see him, because Mikey claims to be some sort of like car guru and knows a lot about automotive. He knows a few things, but like, you know, he's obviously read online. Funny enough, he can't look to see what the shape of the earth is online, but whatever. He kind of makes a claim here, but it's because he's got a extreme bias, as he is for everything else, for his Subaru.
my car is pretty quick, buddy. So, whoop that Ford Escape, Ford Focus off the lot. Oh, it's a Hyundai. Hyundai Elantra, 80 horsepower. See if we can get up this hill, boys.
Now, I couldn't see what Hyundai Elantra was talking about. I used to work at Hyundai. I used to work at a Hyundai dealership, stuff like that. The Elantra is actually not that bad. Base Elantra, 147 horsepower. If you're looking at the Elantra N, which is the 2-liter turbo, the first 2-liter naturally aspirated, 2-liter turbo is 276 horsepower. So definitely no fucking slouch. They shift, and they're a light vehicle too. So Mikey, you gotta think here. You think your Subaru is so powerful. It also weighs fucking nearly 3 tons.
It's alright, my turbo is about an inch by inch cubic. Whee!
Not just for context, Mikey, because I don't think you have the V6 version there of your Subaru. So you've got the 4-cylinder 2.5 liter, which is 175 horsepower. So if that turbo happens to be the N spec, then that thing's got about 100 horsepower more than you do, and it probably weighs about 500 to 600 pounds less than your car. Also, it's not dealing with an all-wheel drive system, so its drive wheels and stuff, its drive line isn't as heavy. It's going to shift a lot quicker. In a drag race, you may or may not, depends on obviously reaction time, all that shit, let's take it out of the equation. You might get off the line a little quicker, do all-wheel drive, but down a quarter mile, that launch will absolutely smoke the shit out of you because you just have more pull, it weighs less, you get the speed faster. Going up the highway there, going up the hill, Launcher's got you, buddy. I'm sorry, mate, but you think 80 horsepower, fucking not even close. Even the base model, compared to your vehicle, all that resistance you have, that big thing you have on the roof, all the extra gear in there, that Launcher's gonna fucking walk you up the hill, not a problem. Just a minor correction, I was just watching Mikey live stream, and apparently his car is a 2006, not 2016. Only said 2016 because he said his car was 10 years old. It's actually 20 years old, which then I would actually say that Elantra's probably, especially if it's a newer Elantra. Yeah, that old Subaru is going to be worn out, obviously extra gear, all that stuff. Engines do actually lose power as you get older because the cylinders get a little bigger, the rings get a bit worn, bearings get a little worn, get more resistance. Obviously things like injectors and stuff aren't quite as clean, and so they actually lose power. So I know I said 175 horsepower that car would have, because I doubt he has the 3.6 or the flat 6. He'll have the flat 4 in that, and I doubt he's got like the performance one, which is like got a bit more power than the base model up to limited. So saying that, I'm gonna say he's probably maybe 170, probably more like 165 horsepower if you were actually to test that, the state it is. So yeah, just thought I'd just clarify that I got that wrong because he had said 10 years, but it's actually a 20-year-old car.
Oh shit, hey. There's like 100 RCMP cops, man. Please don't talk to kids. Yes, I am aware of that, but he approached me. I can't do anything about that.
Actually, Mikey, you can do something about it. You can tell the kids to please just leave you alone, go away, and go back to the parents instead of sitting there and start derping out and telling them all the bullshit and lying to them. You've been in trouble before about talking to kids and stuff. Got parents get upset when the simple strangers start yammering onto the kids, especially when they start like telling them a bunch of lies and telling that the parents or the teachers are lying to them when they're, in fact, they're not. You don't have any evidence of flat earth. All you do is got your little derp shit, and you got your freaking like the fact that you don't know how to use optics and do astrophotography and think that you're actually doing something fantastic. So yes, you can do something. You can tell the kid to please go back to the parents and then continue on. That's what you can do. That's the right thing to do.
Stop lying to the kids. Oh boy. I don't lie to kids, you do. Sorry, folks.
Sorry, Mikey, but you do lie to kids. Everything you say is empirically and demonstrably wrong and false. You don't say anything that's actually backed in any kind of science. You don't have evidence. You've been asked questions. I've asked questions. You actually don't know anything. And all you really have is just your false beliefs. You have your delusional freaking ideologies that you push and claim is to be true. But when you actually push to back this up with any kind of facts, evidence, and proofs, you fall apart. You don't have anything. Flat Earth is nothing but a delusional fantasy. Plain and simple.
We got some Debbie Downers in the chat, it looks like. And I'll talk to whoever the fuck I want to talk to. Thank you very much.
Dude, that's kind of an attitude that's going to get you fucking something worse than what I have here. Also because, you know, freaking some guy gets a lucky shot, and well, I freaking gave as well as I got, I tell you that, if not worse. But yeah, here and there. But Mikey, that kind of attitude is going to have you spitting chicklets, buddy. I'm telling you right now, you need to freaking like wind your neck in and shift your freaking attitude.
It's not against the law to talk to kids, just to let you know. Probably scared of his fingernails. Yeah, here we go. Again, is that proof of a globe? You guys are horrible with globe proofs. Just horrible.
Mikey, every criticism of you isn't a globe proof, right? This is simply a criticism on your hygiene and the fact that you have really, really strangely long fingernails. Now, I did hear something to do with the fact that you like to do cross-dressing and maybe you're painting those nails, you know, to, you know, bring out your female persona or whatever the heck you do. Whatever you do behind closed doors, I really don't give a shit. But that's just something people do in criticisms. The criticisms aren't to say it's globe proof or evidence of the flat earth or anything like that. It's simply this personal criticism. Take it with a pinch of salt and move on.
Just horrible. I don't know where you come up with these globe proof. I'm going to be a millionaire because I'm going to sell a book. I'm going to print a book. Like 200 or even 500 globe proofs. Cut your fingernails. Grow long hair. Don't talk to kids. There's 3 proofs right there of a globe. Get an education. Man, that's like the top one. Number 4 for the globe proofs. Get an education.
Well, all those things are just simply just take people are giving criticisms, personal criticisms and stuff or whatever of you. The only thing is about get education, well, that would help you to understand what's evidentially proven that's factually true and what is just pseudoscience and a bunch of like mumbo jumbo bullshit, right? Now the globe proofs would be something like, I don't know, 1972 blue marble, right? All the pictures we have, which have never been disproven by a flat earther. Them claiming CGI isn't proof. That's just them making a false claim without having any evidence. All measurements, surveyor measurements, proof that the Earth's a globe. We have flight routes, Northern and Southern flight routes, prove the globe, falsify the flat Earth. We have Coriolis effect. We have, I think at one point I seen somebody asked you about the Jetstreams, why the Jetstreams travel from west to east. You couldn't answer that. I can. It's called because the Earth's a globe and it's rotating, and that's as the Jetstreams come from the poles, they come down because the Earth is spinning faster as the further go down. It pulls the jet streams that way. As the south one comes up, goes like this. It pulls the jet stream going. That's why it goes west to east, not east to west, and both go like that. And that's because the Earth's a globe and it's rotating. So there's many globe proofs. In fact, there's no flat Earth proofs. I've never had that. I've been asking for 5-6 years for empirical evidence that flat Earth. I've never had anything. A single flat earther who's ever shown one bit, a scrap of empirical evidence that the Earth is flat. No measurement, no picture, nothing. All they have is globe denial and strawman of the globe itself. That's all they have. So yeah, there's tons and tons. We have 2,500 years of globe proof. Still waiting on flat Earth.
I don't know what the fuck that means, but that's got to be a proof of a globe. What else? Don't lie to the kids. That's number 6. That's another globe proof. You're a moron, Mike. See, that's globe 7. Globe proof 7. You don't know what you're talking about. That's proof globe number 8.
Once again, note just personal criticisms, and Mike, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't know what you're doing when it comes to using your photography rig to try to take pictures of the stars, or maybe you do, but if you do, then you're purposely manipulating it to get the images that you want and getting the shapes that you want, which I actually have suspicion. In fact, I don't think you're as stupid as you could always pretend. I do think that you have been working at manipulating your images until you get something that looks like something that you wanted, because you actually have shown sometimes some okay decent images or stuff like that, like of different celestial bodies, and going, that's actually a half decent image, and then you say shit, and then you put out something that looks absolute garbage, that's got loads of distortion and all sorts of freaking like anomalies and stuff like that, and you think that's accurate. So I do think that some of it is you purposely manipulating your stuff to get a push a narrative that you want to push, and you know it's wrong.
I can't do anything, guys. I can't run down the street away from the kid, okay? You stop talking about kids. You're the one talking about them, so go fuck yourself, man. I'm in public. I'm allowed to talk to whoever I want.
Well, Mikey, the projection is real. Remember seeing something about you doing something quite inappropriate with a 16-year-old who actually was had certain developmental and learning disabilities. So you're not one to really talk to their buddy. Men who live in glass houses shouldn't cast stones. Like I said, all you have to do is tell the kid to please leave you alone, go away, go back to the parents. Now, if their parents are there with them and they're all honest speaking to you, that's a different story, that's fine. But if the parents aren't around, tell the kid to go back to the parents and to please go away. You can do it in a nice way. You don't have to be an asshole. I know it's hard for you, Mikey, to actually, do that, but, you don't have to be an asshole. But yeah, just general rule, I know there's an illegal thing, but general rule, parents aren't around, don't talk to the kids. Plain and simple.
You're trying to get me pissed off, and it's not going to work. I'm done with that shit, okay? You guys just do whatever you need to do. And I could have filmed him too. Fuck, I can do whatever I want. I'm in public, okay? Not that I purposely want to record a kid. You guys are fucking morons, okay?
Gee, Mikey, sure looks like you're getting pissed off to me there, buddy. I mean, come on. You're not fooling anybody. But, yeah, like I said, you shouldn't be filming other kids. Now, if you have to be filming and you're just casting along and some kid happens to walk into your frame and you move away, nobody's going to have an issue with that. Like you said, legally you can't do that. But if you're standing there and a kid walks up to you and you're like purposely turning the camera on them or like on you to make sure you're giving the shot, yeah, then that's going to cause a problem. Like I said, tell the kid go away, go back to the parents, leave you alone. That's all you have to do. Now the kid doesn't, and the parents can see that. The parents are going to come over and tell the kid leave this nice man alone, and that's it, right? You look good. Nobody has any issues. That's what I was trying to do. Trying to look out for you there, Mikey. Just leave the kids alone, especially somebody like you who's been in situations you've been in the past. I'm telling you, buddy, you get yourself in a lot of trouble if you don't.
You need to grow a frickin' brain. Yeah, whatever, guys. You're just cuckoo. Yeah, I fell for the truth. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Man, now that I got no wrenches, nobody's taking care of anything. I need to go somewhere there's Wi-Fi and get rid of some of these fuckers.
Oh, Mikey, wanting to purify that echo chamber because you just can't handle a little bit of pushback and people that maybe don't believe what you believe in. And but they bring, the receipts and bring the evidence, something you don't have anything of. So you employ people like fucking Terret, piece of shit, Sea Lightning, freaking what's the other, DJ New Moon, shit like that, to go in there and clear out your live chat and clear out all of your comments, so that way you can keep that echo chamber nice and pure. Because, well, your ego just can't handle the fact when people bring things up that hurt your little feelings. Aw, do you want some milk and cookies there, buddy? Aw, poor Mikey.
Again, they're assuming I'm on welfare because I just want to be on welfare, minus the health conditions I got. Pieces of fucktards. By the way, you're going to hell, you fucking pedophiles. How about that? We got some pedophiles in the stream here. It's unbelievable. We got some people that are absolutely devil worshippers. Holy shit.
Holy fuck, Mikey. The projection is real with you. Holy fuck. I mean, I said, who's the one who got in trouble for doing something inappropriate to an underage child, eh? Mikey. Come on. We all know what you did. Nobody knows what you did. I did a live stream about this just over a year ago. Check it out. I showed the receipts and everything. Yeah. Michael Allen. You definitely aren't innocent, and you have yourself your own past and record. But the whole thing of, you always bring up the devil worshippers and stuff, and Mr. I'm not religious. Well, you bring up a religion a lot. You're definitely religious. Just admit it. Flat Earth is your religion. And it's your cult.
What the fuck's going on with these guys? It's unbelievable. And they have no proof of a frickin' globe whatsoever. Uh-oh.
Do Two, there's mountains and mountains and mountains of evidence that there's a globe. All the measurements, flights, pictures from in orbit. You can go on and check out like the Discovery, the NASA Discover satellite. You can actually see, just recently did one where it showed the whole entire Earth. You can see it rotating. You can take a picture every few hours. You can look at like Himari 8, Himari 9. It takes pictures of the Earth that's in geostationary orbit. It takes pictures of the Earth every few minutes. You got the NOAA GOES satellites. They take pictures of the Earth every few minutes. You can look and see the real live data of and the cloud patterns as they're going to look at different hurricanes or just whatever's going on over the Earth. I think when they had some of those wildfires last year that were down in California, you could actually see the smoke from the wildfires from the NOAA GOES West satellite in real time as it was happening. It's pretty cool, but it definitely shows there's a globe. So there's tons and tons of evidence that there's a globe. You just deny it all because it hurts your feelings, because you're not smart enough to actually understand it all, and you're too delusional to accept the fact is that you're just not smart enough, and the evidence is there.
Yeah, Terret, you got to come on to your other name, man. I don't know why you came on this name. You can't even block anybody. Are you a wrench on this with this name? Don't give them a warning. Just ban them.
That's right. Mikey just doesn't give anybody a warning and stuff like that. People don't see anything inappropriate. They simply just say anything that goes against his fifis, hurts his little feelings, hurts Terret's feelings, and makes them look like fools. So what they do, just ban him. Yeah. He's done to a few of my accounts because they just can't handle it. It just hurts their feelings too much. And so they just go and purify the old echo chamber. It's a shame, Mikey. He used to actually be somebody who's at least open to a little bit of discourse, open to actually speaking. Now all you just want to do is just live in your delusional fantasy world.
Do it now. Don't even think about it. Another guy with a tonneau cover over his bed of his truck. Getting worse fuel economy than when he bought the truck normally, but whatever.
Oh, Mikey, you've never actually looked into this. I used to drive pickup trucks all the time when I lived in Canada, and having a cover over it, or even sometimes if I had no load in, I put my tailgate down. And I can tell you for a fact, I found I got better fuel economy, allowing to not have that resistance, because you're not having all that air that's gathering and the tailgate is resisting. Obviously, some people have it open if you have to have large items. Put a tonneau cover over though helps, one, protect your box so you don't have the crap building up in there, and two, it actually can improve your fuel economy slightly. So maybe look into it a little bit before you start yammering bullshit. But I know you won't do that because research hurts your feelings, because reading's hard for you, isn't it, Mikey? Unless it's like a pop-up picture book.
So yeah, hey, Monkey Cat Pat. Just to let you know that a sundial, I've seen a video of how sundials supposedly work on a globe. The shadow of the stick in the middle goes from left to right. See, these globies, they don't do their own experiments. It's very, very sad.
So funny enough, actually, a sundial doesn't work on the flat Earth. There was actually a challenge put out by somebody on TikTok by the name of Stingray, who actually specializes in doing 3D graphics and stuff like that. And he's actually quite a smart guy. He had a challenge out the flat earthers to take a sundial of whatever one they have for their particular line of latitude, and put it on a flat surface, then have a light, you have it wherever you want, and move it in increments of 15 degrees and see if the sundial works. Then put it onto a sphere at the latitude they'd be at, so wherever, because the gnomon has to point towards the north. So if you're at like 45 degrees, then the gnomon would be at 45 degrees from its base, because that's how they work. And so as you go more north, it's going to stand up straight, and as you go more south, it's going to come down and eventually go flat. So it always points to North Star, which is funny because even those angles pointing at Polaris actually falsifies flat Earth. Doesn't work on the flat Earth. I got another video on this. You want to check that out. But so to put it on the sphere, do the exact same thing. Move the sphere or move the light, a distant light from 15 degrees per thing, and you'll notice that it works perfectly on the globe, on a sphere, but doesn't work on a flat surface. I've done this test myself, and guess what? Flat surface failed. But when I put it on a large like exercise ball at and I went 90 degrees and went down to my latitude, it actually worked out perfectly. And I had went and bought like some cheap sundial just off Temu or something like that, and it worked fine. So so yeah, check it out. And then I showed what it actually looks like in reality, and you can see that the globe matched reality, the flat Earth didn't. So yeah, Mikey, we need to look into this a little bit, because your sundial thing, it falsifies flat Earth.
We should go talk to the geese and see how they fly from here to south without curvature and without the rotation of the Earth below them. Wonder how they do that.
Really, Mikey, the geese flying through the air aren't moving fast enough to really have to worry about Coriolis. As well as they have wings, they can actually adjust their course to wherever they're going. Migratory birds use the obviously they use the seasons to know where to go, and they actually use the Earth's magnetic field to navigate where they're going, and have instinctive memory from years of going to and from where they migrate to and from. But as for going over the curvature, all I do is just maintain a constant altitude, which is not hard. Remember, geese very, very, very tiny, Earth very, very big, so not very hard. They go a decent distance, but they do actually land and rest and then fly up again. So all I do is just maintain a certain altitude, and they'll just simply naturally go with the curvature of the Earth. Once again, like I said, geese very small, Earth very big, not hard.
Why the Jetstream travel with this? I haven't researched it, so I don't care.
Gee, Mikey, that's weird, because this is something I asked when I was on a live stream during Father's Day, when you, Matthew, Keem, and freaking Sam were trying to think that they were getting one over on me. And I brought the Jetstreams, and Matthew Keem thought he knew all about that and brought up something about the Jetstreams go both ways, which they don't. And so I asked him, why do the Jetstreams travel from west to east on flat Earth, and how they do that? And he goes, he doesn't know, doesn't care, because it's just too complicated for him. And like I said, it's easy for that to work on a flat Earth, on a globe. I mean, it doesn't work on flat Earth whatsoever. There's no mechanism, doesn't really work. And it works on the globe. Why do the jet streams travel west to east on the Earth? Because the Earth's rotating east to west, and as the jet streams, as those cooler airs, currents move their way up towards the equator, the Earth actually has the Coriolis effect and the spinning. And so they end up traveling along, and they go west to east because it's slowing down, and the Earth's like that, so it's kind of curving like that. So like this, you see the jet streams do this, and they come from the Earth, and they kind of curve and go like that way. That's also why the storms actually spin in opposite directions, in opposite rotation. So in Northern Hemisphere, they travel anti-clockwise. Southern Hemisphere, they travel clockwise, once again, due to the Coriolis effect. And it's the same effect that causes the jet streams to travel the way they do. So, not hard. And yes, and jet streams in each hemisphere don't go in opposite directions. They only go from west to east. Sorry, Matthew Keem, but you're wrong.
So, why does the Southern Hemisphere star trails rotate on it?
This should be interesting. Let's see what Mikey has to say, Mr. Starman. I should have an answer that makes perfect sense, and he should come up pretty quick, so let's see what he has to say.
Bum 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 bum.
Come, Mikey, hurry up. We don't have all day. I mean, I thought you were the GOAT and Mr. Starman. You should have an answer like that, since this is your area of expertise, right? Come on.
I can easily explain that. It's unbelievable.
Still waiting, Mikey. I mean, it was that easy. Where is it? Why you have to think so hard and so long about this, Mr. Starman, expert on how stars and their firmament works? Come on. What's taking so long?
how easy it is.
Wow, it's so easy, yet he's taken him so long to try to come up with that. I mean, if you ask me that, why the star trails move in different ways around two different axes of rotation, North and South, easy. Earth's a globe, it's rotating, and that's exactly what you expect on a spherical Earth that's rotating the way it is. Man, that didn't take long at all. Come on, Mikey, hurry up. What's he doing here? Why is it so easy, but yet it's taking you so long to come up with the answer?
You know, when I'm here in the Northern Hemisphere and look to the north, the stars do that too, you know that, counterclockwise.
Oh, that's took you all the time to come up with that. Well, great, Mikey. Yes, the stars, when you look at them towards the north, in the Northern Hemisphere, rotate counterclockwise. But they don't in the south. The south, they go clockwise. So, why is that, Mikey? And why is there central rotation in the south when you think that there's a dome and things are spinning flat this way? Yet, or in the north, you see like this, but as it goes out, everything is going past sideways like that. But that's not what happens. So explain why. Well, how does this work on flat Earth? Come on, remember, 1 point of rotation, opposite rotation. So clockwise in the south, counterclockwise in the north. Let's go, Mickey.
Until they get to the 3 o'clock position.
Until they get to the 3 o'clock position. So he's picturing the stars in the north, just like this, and they're rotating counterclockwise. So looking at my camera, I'm going to turn this way, my hand is going, no, right? So the 3 o'clock position, when they go this way, and then what? How is that? They're still going to keep going. I got videos I've took myself of this. They continue to go all the way around, depends where you are. Depends on how long the night is, right? So right now, you don't need to see some because you go from the light nights are short, days are long. If I was in December, you'd probably see a lot more rotation, a lot longer because longer night, so you see the stars longer. But I digress. What's this? So, okay, so stars are in this, and they've gone to the 3 o'clock position. Or, come on, Mikey. What's this? Makes no sense.
You're not thinking and you're not asking questions. At least, you're not answering your own questions. Figure it out yourself.
So you don't have an answer then, Mikey. We fucking did that. That's a zero. That's a nothing burger. That's it. So they do it in the north to go counterclockwise, but not in the south to go clockwise. And until you get to 3 o'clock position, you explain fucking nothing. That's zip. That's a nothing burger. You can easily explain it, and then you went along to not explaining it. You thought about it longer than you actually gave the answer. I thought, oh, it's going to be a big answer here. He's really put a lot of thought into this. And that was it. Fucking hell, Mikey. That's an epic fail. Holy fuck. Mr. Starman can't even explain the freaking star trails. Holy shit. Oh, fuck, Mikey. That's pathetic. Wow. That was worse than I thought you were going to do.
You do know that there is a dome above us, right? And it could be almost flat like.
Well, then that wouldn't be a fucking dome, now, would it? Like, if it's above us, a dome shaped like this, a flat lake, that's not a dome then. That's a flat piece of freaking whatever, right? It's what, a plate at the most. So you have a plate, a flat thing above the flat earth, so you have a plate above a plate. What the fuck? That makes no sense. That doesn't work. And it still doesn't explain the star rotation. Sorry, but nope. That's an epic fail there still. And there's no dome. You never proved it. You're nothing. Your videos, your pictures have already been falsified and shown that all it is digital noise, chromatic aberration, and probably a bunch of other shit, and obviously compression and everything else, because obviously you freaking manipulate the fucking hell out of your stuff. So yeah, nope, no dome. Sorry, doesn't exist. Never proved it.
Again, I don't know how it would support itself if it was flat, but there is some kind of a surface above us. And the further you look that way, what happens? things to tend to appear to go down, right?
Honestly, from everything we know about material sciences and everything, even a dome wouldn't support itself, right? You got it'd be something. Flat Earthers make this claim of a dome, but if it were to physically be there, what's supporting it? We don't know anything that exists that would support itself in any kind of even a dome, or especially if it's flat, over the expanse of what the Earth have to be. Sorry, but it just. You're making up magic and stuff like that, and say Magic Sky Daddy does it because Magic Sky Daddy can do everything I want Magic Sky Daddy to do, isn't evidence. That's just fantasy. That's just, writing a little bit of science fiction. And as for the thing of looking that way, everything seems to go down. It's funny enough because things disappear over the curvature of the Earth. I've already proved this. I'm asking Mikey to take a picture of Table Mountain from Assiniboia, because apparently Saskatchewan is flat as a pancake and Alberta right up to the mountains. So why is this picture that's only about 600 kilometers away, about 300 miles, which is this picture of a giant mountain? I'm still waiting, Mikey. I haven't seen it. I know it's just due west. Come on, this face west from Assiniboia. Get out your binoculars, get your P1000, get out your P1 million, I don't give a fuck. Take a picture of Table Mountain. Show it to me. I know what it looks like because I've been there loads of times. I've been down Left Bridge and I've driven right past Table Mountain going out to Sparwood and stuff like that. So, I know exactly what I'm talking about. So, come on, buddy. Where is it?
Right? So, when they appear to go down and they're rotating this way, what has to happen? They are appearing to come closer. But what is happening when they're doing this? This appears to be counterclockwise, but it's not. They're rotating above our heads, just like this.
No, that still didn't explain it at all. Fucking, you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. If you look up north, you're about the same latitude I am right now. So, you look up north, you can see about 50 odd, some degrees up. You see the Polaris, which is freaking about half degree off the central point of the rotation of the celestial pole, where all the celestial stars go around, celestial points of rotation, and they go counterclockwise. Now, funny enough, if you look south, even from here, if I had a nice, wasn't in a built-up area, I took you'd actually see the stars coming over the horizon a little bit, just on the edge. That they'd be going counterclockwise, clockwise. So they'd have, I'd be looking north and seeing a rotation that'd be going counterclockwise. I'd looking south and be seeing a rotation that'd be going clockwise. I'd see is like this arch of the edge where the stars. If I looked a bit just above the horizon, I'd see they'd be looking straight, and then if I looked like there, you'd see them start to bend towards the counterclockwise. So there'd be an arch going clockwise, and a straight section, and then a part going counterclockwise. And you can simply see this. Many people have actually taken pictures of time lapse or have done long exposure, and you can see this exact same thing. So or you can go in Stellarium and just run the time up back and forth, and you can actually see exactly how the stars are going to rotate and work. And Stellarium works. I was using it just last night to pinpoint where different stars were, and to see when Saturn was going to come up high enough on the horizon that I could see it and take videos and pictures of it, in which it did. I posted some up on a short, and I'm still processing that when I have time here. But so that's how it works. But what you explained there, Mikey, sorry, buddy, it doesn't work. None of that makes any fucking sense whatsoever. You're still explaining why we have 2 points of rotation, 2 points and two opposite rotations, counterclockwise in the north, clockwise in the south, and a point there and a point north. Why does that work if you have a dome that's going over us? Still doesn't make any sense. You're not explaining it.
But they're really far that way, and they appear to come up going counterclockwise when they're not even doing that. They're just rotating around us. I'm telling you, man, you guys, and that happens in the north, not just the south.
That wasn't the question. The question was, explain the 2 points of rotation, clockwise and counterclockwise, star trails, on the flat Earth. How does that work? Yes, the north is counterclockwise, the south is clockwise. He's still not explaining why there's 2 points of rotation. Sorry, Mikey. I think you've forgotten what the question was. You do realize it's on the screen there. You can reread it if you forgot, right?
But again, I can't help you guys. I just don't think. I just can't do it, man. Anyways, guys, I think I'm gonna pack up here and we'll head out of town.
No, Mikey, you can't help us. You can't help yourself. I mean, you didn't answer any of the questions. That's not what causes the star trails north and south. You didn't even understand the question, nor understand the topic. You kept referring to north, and you said the south goes the same direction. It doesn't. I'm sorry, buddy, but all you had there was a bit of a word salad and nothing burger. So, yeah, I already answered this. It took me all of 30 seconds. You walk around like you're having some sort of like deep thinking stuff about why the stars' rotations are clockwise and south, counterclockwise in the north, and why they both have just 2 points of rotation. You can't explain it. You tried, but it was complete and utter failure on your part. Sorry, buddy, but flat Earth, can't explain it. You have nothing.
Light means stop, right? See, again, you couldn't pass the 6th grade. More wonderful proof. I love how we insult people in order. See, you can't insult. When the Globies go to court, do they just laugh at the judge? Is that how that works?
Most Globies don't end up going to court. We tend to be fairly good law-abiding citizens, have jobs, have families, and we get along and do our things. A lot of flat earthers tend to be soft sits who think that the laws don't apply to them, and they know the laws better than the people who write and enforce them and study them and commit their lives to them. Like Mikey, who thinks that he knows what his Charter of Rights is and misinterprets them all the time, and then beaks off of the police and causes problems. So, yeah, it's, but just if, not like the courts are going to look at the shape of the earth or anything to do with science. There's no science courts. This doesn't exist. If they were in there, then it'd be based on empirical science, data, and measurements, and obviously, and what the evidence shows. Now, the thing is, if, let's say, there was something like that, and I would go to court, and Mike, you want to take me to court because I've pushed him too far with his observations and calling all his star observations bullshit and chromatic aberration and distortion and everything else, which they are. And you want to show evidence, and I would show what I've put up, what I've taken myself, what I've done, to show what has been established by empirical science, by all across the whole globe, all around the world, all the agencies, professional astronomers, massive, huge professional observatories, compared to what I have, which my stuff matches. Mikey's doesn't. So he can't support his stuff. All he has is empty, fallacious claims. My stuff would be backed up by independents from all around the globe, as well as professionals in established science. I'd win, Mikey'd lose. Plain and simple.
Like when the judge says, "Hey, John Smith, did you murder this guy?" What's your proof that other person did it? Oh, that's your proof? Just giggling.
Mikey, I know you have a hard time understanding this, but nobody claims that laughing at you is proof of the globe. Simply the fact that what you're talking about there just be based on what's the evidence, what's the empirical evidence, what's established, and the motive, what's theorems, where were you, came back up, do you have alibis, blah blah blah, stuff like that. So evidence, hard facts is evidence, right? So opinions and feelings and just saying things wouldn't be proof. If you said, "Oh, I wasn't there, I didn't kill the guy, I was out with my friends having a drink on the other side of town," okay, can you prove that? Yes, here's CCTV footage showing that I was in another club all night drinking with my friends. There you are, right? That's what you don't have when it comes to your observations. You don't have evidence. You have opinions. You have what ifs. You have just what you say it is. That's not proof. You can't say, oh, this is electrical freaking spikes and stuff off a star. Okay, well, how do you know that is? Can you prove that? Just saying that, your picture isn't the evidence, right? Your picture is the claim. Now, is anybody else now? You can say, oh, my friend here took a similar picture. How did they do that, right? But then look and say, how are you taking those pictures? Oh, you're using a cell phone that's not sitting correctly onto an eyepiece of a pair of binoculars that's out of focus. Look, the experts have looked over this. This is what they said, right? Just break it down. So, like the murder case thing, it'd be based on evidence, you know, fingerprints, DNA, motive, alibis, witnesses, stuff like that.
Oh, that's your proof? Just giggling. The Globies have literally nothing other than insults, make fun of. Like, this isn't a comic routine. This is the truth. The flat earthers are kicking the Globies' asses. Does that say cuckoos? Cuckoo's Pizza. No word of a lie. K-O-O.
Mikey, for fuck's sake, freaking watch the road. It turns almost 180 degrees around to look at a stupid pizza thing while you're driving forward. Holy shit. This is a guy who claimed to be a professional driver. Holy fuck, man. Like, you know how those police will want to look at your streams and stuff like that? This is the kind of shit you're looking for, and suddenly you're going to have stuff turning up in your, undue care and attention, undue, driving charges, stuff like that, and showing up and going, well, he's going, what the hell? How do you know about this? Well, because you filmed it, you absolute idiot. By the way, Flat Earth is not kicking the globe's ass. Flat Earthers don't have a model. They can't make predictions. They got nothing. No measurements. Fucking nothing. In fact, people are leaving the Flat Earth in droves, especially after TFE. So, yeah, the globe's evidence has been established for 2,500 years and grows, and it gets more and more accurate. We can make down to the minute precision measurements and predictions about stuff like solar and lunar eclipses, something the Flat Earth can't do. We can even show the timing of the sunrise, sunset, and the path of the sun, something the Flat Earth can't do. We can make predictions on when there's going to be meteor showers, right down to the day, and we know when and where. This is due to the heliocentric model. We can predict when and where all the planets and stars are going to be, and we have apps that make the prediction. I can tell you right now where Saturn, Mars, and Venus, Jupiter, everything's going to be 6 months from now, and I can go out 6 months from now, and they'll be in those locations. That's based on the globe. Flat Earth, nothing. Can't do any of that stuff. It's a delusional fantasy that people run around, stupid people go around and pretend is real. And that's where we laugh at you, because you're a bunch of idiots claiming that this delusional fantasy world that you can make up that none of you can actually even agree on is real. It's not. So yes, the Flat Earth is a complete comic routine, and I make content to laugh at it. Sorry, Mikey, but the Flat Earth is failing so hard. Like, show us one model that makes sense that everybody can agree on. Oh, you can't, because none of you know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay, so look at the screenshots that my mate sent me. He was kind of talking to one fella named CJ who was trying to explain something to do with the star rotations. He said something about a ceiling fan that's really long, and all he tried to say is, yeah, a ceiling fan is still only going to rotate one direction as you go further out. Then you just look like the blades is going to go past you like that. Doesn't explain 2 points of rotation. And went back and forth a bit, and then he said something along the lines of like, look, you're calling me a low IQ, but yet you still understand the fact is that a ceiling fan only have 1 point of rotation, and it wouldn't explain the opposite rotation in the Southern Hemisphere around 1 point as well. So 2 points going in, one going counterclockwise, one going clockwise. Ceiling fan doesn't explain that. Flat Earthers bring this shit up all the time, but it actually doesn't explain what they think it does. And I've even shown this with a fan and showed that no matter you can stand one side or the other side, doesn't matter. The direction of rotation doesn't change, and it's still only 1 point. So, and then he actually challenged Terret. Happened to mention something about this lower Q, so he's just comment here, I'll put up here. He says, well, Terret, can you explain then the 2 points of rotation in opposite directions on the flat Earth? And he also, I think Terret also mentioned something about thermodynamics, and so then that comes up afterwards, and that's where we get into the back and forth. All right, so in response to my friend there, Motormind here, responded to this one here. Now, I didn't ask him about this because he's saying it's a closed system or sealed system, and he actually what he's meaning, or he's trying to get at, is that the flat Earth would be like an isolated system. Unless you want to say there's events or something like that, or whatever, you can maybe see a closed system. Either way, though, his point still stands. Closed system or isolated system, the effect will still be the same. I'll show you kind of what I mean. I'll give you an example. See, here's a greenhouse. Right now, you notice this greenhouse here. I took a picture of this yesterday, and the greenhouse here is there's vents open. It's about, I think, a day I took this. It was about 24, 25 degrees Celsius. Quite warm. Now you notice that the top vents are open, side windows are open, the door was open to allow ventilation. Now why would it be? Because if that greenhouse, all those vents are closed, door was closed and left like that, that would be considered a closed system, right? Or you could say same thing as like so, or a sealed system, whatever. It would be the same sort of thing. And what would happen is that the temperature in there would climb and climb and climb and climb. It would be essentially a runaway greenhouse effect, especially if you had a whole bunch of moisture in there as well. It would keep climbing, and all the plants there would be dead within a matter of days. They just they get burnt out. Everything would just the temperature would climb until eventually nothing would actually be able to survive in there. If you were to walk in there, it would be horrendous. You'd be like walking into the depths of hell. So what Motormind is saying is essentially, even if you said sealed system, meaning a closed system and an isolated system like this greenhouse, it'd be the same thing. And the same effect would happen, which is why, in like this example here, this greenhouse, they had to open all the vents to bring the temperature down and to allow the temperature to be regulated at a certain point. Now, as far as I'm concerned, no flat earther has ever claimed that the firmament has vents that open whenever the temperature starts getting too high on Earth, and that it thermoregulates. In fact, some flat earthers claim that there's water above the firmament. So unless you want to claim that that's God's way of, like, the world flood to thermoregulate the whole entire planet, but didn't that happen thousands and thousands of years ago? And I'm pretty sure with our sun and all this stuff, especially the Industrial Revolution, yeah, we would all be cooked right now. Plain and simple. So he's not wrong. So this is Terret's response here, and he thinks he's being clever. The fact is that Motorman still has a point. Just like my example there where I showed the greenhouse, where actually the heat source is on the outside. If the Earth is flat, covered by a dome, even if it's, let's just say, it's a closed system, and it's it can radiate some heat. One, where's the heat going to? Where's all that? Because he's saying the heat exchange. But okay, let's just say the firmament can absorb heat from the sun. But where is that going? Where's it going to go to, right? Because now that they're claiming what's beyond the dome, they don't know. Sometimes they claim water. Sometimes they claim nothing. What is there now? Also, what is the firmament made out of? Stuff like that. So he's saying, but even in that case, like I said, with the greenhouse, which is kind of maybe something kind of similarly analogous, the heat, even though the heat's on the outside in the greenhouse, and in the firmament, the heat source on the inside, it would still build and build and build because there's nowhere for that heat to really go. I mean, go into that, but it's going to reflect down. It's going to be trapped still within their so-called firmament dome. So Terret doesn't understand this. He thinks he's more clever than he is, but he's actually an idiot, or he's just deflecting. I think it's more the former, that Terret's just an idiot and he doesn't understand this concept. So Terret here is making claims that the firmament somehow can transfer the heat. Now, what he doesn't realize and understand is, okay, the firmament first should have to absorb the heat. So what's the firmament made out of? How thick is it? What kind of material is made out of? What's his conductivity values? such. How high is the firmament? How close is the sun? How big is they can't make any things. It's not really straw man because it comes down to just basics of what the flat earthers say without them giving any kind of evidence. You're not straw manning anything. Remember, the flat earthers don't actually have a model, so you can't really straw man something that doesn't exist. And well, the flat earth doesn't exist anyways. So if we look at the bottom here, Motor Mind points out the thing goes, well, how can explain how then the firmament can absorb the heat and be able to then transfer it to something else. What's above the firmament? Because even the firmament, let's say the firmament wasn't an insulator, and it was able to absorb the heat that's generated by the sun, by thermal events in the earth, by obviously people, our body heat, all the animals create heat, our industry, stuff like that. Where is the heat going? What's beyond that? Because it's obviously something else that's going to absorb that heat and transfer and pull it away from firmament, or else the firmament is just going to continue to heat up itself, and it's going to start radiating the heat back in as well, because it can only absorb so much before eventually this is going to have to transfer it back into the environment drain. Now remember my whole thing about the greenhouse, right? The greenhouse is only very, very thin, right? So, and yet, even with an external heat source, we're not even talking like having a heat source inside, like the sun or something like that, like something inside. That's still going to build. It'll still build and build up to quite a bit, even though the greenhouse itself has got metal. It's going to absorb heat and radiate into the atmosphere, which will be cooler on the outside. Or the glass is going to radiate. It's still going to still have that. Another example would be something like a terrarium, right? Like my daughter's got a couple of lizards. We have to turn off the heat source and have it regulated. That comes on and off, like for the whole thing, or else it'll just keep building, and the poor little critters will eventually just be cooked. This is the same thing now. So, and that's not a sealed system whatsoever. We have ventilation. Obviously, it's just got glass opens and closes and stuff like that, which isn't completely. It's not sealed at all. It's got it's able to ventilate itself quite easily, as well as the material is made out of. And yet, we have to regulate how hot that is. We have to turn off the heat source. We have to turn off the heat lamps. We have to turn off the. We can only have the UV light and the heat lamp on for only so long, and even then we got to still have it to where it's set, so it comes on and off to keep a certain temperature. That wouldn't happen in the flat Earth with the firmament. The sun never turns off; it's always on. It's always shining. It's always generating heat. People are always generating heat. Thermal events are always happening. The heat doesn't stop. Terret's just too fucking stupid to realize this. And one of mine's bringing a good point, and Terret keeps trying to deflect, working on semantics. But either way, even if it was like say a closed system which still receives energy from somewhere, it wouldn't be enough. It's just plain and simple. The flat Earth, if flat Earthers want to make this claim, they'd have to first provide evidence and science of what the firmament is made out of, how is it transferred heat, where's the heat being transferred to, where's the energy going. So yeah, flat Earthers, Terret, you're just an idiot. And one of mine's already gotten cooked here. You look later down, you'll see Terret just completely just collapses. Once again, Terret completely avoiding the question that was being asked. And Terret, yes, you are making claims here. One of mine's only pointing out the fact is that if there's a firmament with the heat sources inside, that the flat Earth under a firmament would eventually have a runaway greenhouse effect, and it would just simply the whole system the heat would just build, even if you had a firmament that could absorb and transfer some heat. This wouldn't be enough. Then if you have a solid barrier, it's just the atmosphere is still going to build, and even then that firmament is still going to absorb the heat, and some of that heat is then going to be transferred back into the system. Right? So you're using Terret's own logic of saying the firmament can transfer heat and absorb, and that it's not a complete insulator, which they still have to prove how much does it insulate, how can it be they could perfectly absorb and radiate out without radiating it back into the system. But Terret's just an idiot, and yeah, he's just running away. So Terret's making a claim and then claiming he didn't make a claim, because fucking Terret's a fucking complete moron. Also, it's kind of funny what Music Pipe said there, that Terret isn't a real flat earther. He's just got some sort of humiliation fetish. Maybe. Because in my opinion, Terret is embarrassing himself. Maybe he gets off on this. Maybe he's sitting there going, oh yeah, I like it when people just make me look like an idiot. I don't know. I mean, I'm just speculating, but it explains why he says the stupid shit he says. One of mine makes a good point here. This is Mikey's video live stream, and this is Mikey's claim about the whole firmament, and he thinks there's nothing beyond it. So he just actually was asking the question and commenting on Mikey's live stream, not Terret's. Terret doesn't do live streams that I've ever heard of, or have any videos other than Terret sitting in Holly's lives whenever she does ones until they get taken down, and you sit there freaking simping and freaking like, you know, wanting attention off of some, you know, cracky jacky, but you know, whatever. Makes a good point here. Like I said, Terret, this isn't yours, and this is Mikey's claims, and Mikey claims is a firmament. So you're still not explaining it, and even then, Terret, you're still failing because you don't understand the simple concept. Yeah, imagine that, Terret, calling, you know, not understanding conduction, convection, and radiation, and calling out people on their misunderstandings. Why do you do that? Because you don't have a fucking clue what you're talking about, princess. So yeah, why are you doing that? Because Motormine is making some fucking really good, valid points, and you're just deflecting from them because you don't have a fucking answer. So he's asking questions and pointing out inconsistencies in the flat earth model that you're just trying to fucking, you know, hope to steer away from by focusing on semantics and not even focusing, and then say you don't make a claim, making a claim and then not making a claim. Fucking all. Terret, you're feeling so harsh here. You don't even realize it because you're just too stupid to even comprehend what's going on. And here, Motorman completely freaking just puts the freaking nail in the coffin. Terret right there asks a few certain questions because Terret's making some claims. And Terret's answer, I don't know. But then you fail, Terret. You don't have fucking nothing. That's it, princess. It's over. I mean, he asked us a few questions because you've been making all these claims about convection, radiation, absorption, stuff like that. So what's he made out of? You don't know. You're done then, Buttercup. That's it. It's fucking over. So you fell for his trap. He lined you up and then poof, down you went. That was it. It was so easy, like fish in a barrel. Terret, fucking. The thing is, all flat earthers claim there is a dome. Well, most flat earthers claim there's a dome, right? That's 90% of them. Mikey in particular claims that there's a dome. It is going to have some insulation properties, right? You already admitted you have no idea what it's made out of. You don't know what it is, what its conductivity ratio is, its values, anything. So, you know, its convexity, you don't understand. So it's not that Motormine is making a claim that there is a dome. Motormine is only relaying what all flat earthers are saying, and particularly Mikey Smith, who has been emphatically droning on that there is a dome and it's proven and blah 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 and all the bullshit he says. He's not proved a single thing. The firmament doesn't exist. It's his fantasy. That's as far as it goes. But you are the one who's claiming that it's somehow perfectly is able to absorb the heat. And how does it radiate the heat onto something else? How? Because obviously if it's going to allow heat to pass through, it first has to absorb it and then it has to pass it on to something else. Something else has to pull that heat out, right? Obviously Terret doesn't understand thermodynamics, convection. So because that heat goes from transfers. So I go from something that's cooler to something hotter, right? It's going to pull it out, try to warm it up. Then it's going to go from there. Something else has to draw that heat out, and something else, the energy has to move on to something else. So what's pulling that? Terret doesn't know. He's making claims, but he's even admitted he doesn't have a clue. He doesn't know what it is. He doesn't know how it works like that. So he's got nothing. He's making claims. Terret is making claims, but he has nothing to substantiate it. So Terret, you're losing. You've lost. You've already admitted defeat. Motormine is just playing with you now. Like a cat playing with a rat. That's about all it really is now at this point. And as Motormine here is pointing out once again, reiterating the exact same thing. This would be an empirical fact. If the Earth was flat and covered by a dome, there would be a runaway greenhouse effect. The energy would keep building and building. There's too much energy being pumped out by the sun. There's too much energy being pumped out by different thermal events, by like volcanoes, by undersea volcanoes, stuff like that. Hot springs all around the globe, as well as obviously our industries pump out heat, our bodies pump out heat, any mammals pump out heat. There's all this heat is being generated, right? Now on the globe model, that's quite easy, right? We receive a certain amount of energy from the sun. The sun's 93 million miles away. This has been measured. Look up Stanford University, did it in 1959, measured the distance to the sun using radar waves, right? And we've also figured it out using trigonometry, stuff like that, for even before that. So it's already been done. Right? This has been empirically proven. We know how far the sun is. We've measured it. We got probes going on there right now. We got the Parker Space Probe, solar probe. We have ESA's solar probe going around the sun, taking measurements. We know how far it is, right? We know how far this stuff is. So, flat earthers claim they don't, but freaking that's it. It's done, right? There's no arguing over that, right? But as this Earth receives energy, as we obviously have the Earth's always facing away from the sun, that energy is being radiated back out. About the same amount that we receive is actually radiated back out is infrared into space. Space is obviously a massive heat sink. It's drawing that out. We're receiving the heat. We're in the zone that we can receive enough energy that we're not too hot, we're not too cold. Receive enough, and as you turn, the Earth also radiates that back out. So the globe model easily is able to explain this, right? Not a problem, right? That's pretty much it in a nutshell. The flat Earth, though, with the dome, they can't, right? They have to make fallacious claims, use fantasies, this magic, magic Sky Daddy has made it perfect because they say so, right? Can't prove magic Sky Daddy exists. You have to just believe it. It's all faith. Everything is faith. It's all just, it's delusional fantasy. That's it. So as Motor Minds point out here, that would happen. There would be a runaway greenhouse effect. I've already described this. If you use this simple, have a greenhouse in your garden, close it up as tight as you can, walk away, see what happens. All the plants in there, right? Walk in there after a day or two, have a nice couple of nice sunny days, walk in there. Now remember, this is outside. Heat source going in. For that greenhouse, not good, right? Now look at the same thing with, like I mentioned, was a reptile terrarium, right? Keep the heat lamp on. Keep it on for just one night. Watch how high that temperature goes. And watch it, but don't have a critter in there, right? Don't have your lizard in there. But just have one there with a glass top on it. Have your heat lamp in there. Leave it on for one day. See how hot it gets. Now let's think. That's going to keep getting hotter and hotter and hotter in there. Yeah, not very good, is it? So, yeah. Motorman is correct here. And Terret, he's just trying to deflect from it. Because he knows he's cooked. He's done. He's cooked as flat Earth would be if it was under a dome. So you see, after Motorman said that, here's some Terret's responses, right? Now, Motorman never claimed anything about the properties of the firmament, right? First, they need to prove the firmament exists, right? Here they denied that. It says if the Earth was flat and if there was a dome over it, then there would be runaway greenhouse effects, right? Don't need to actually prove this, what it's made out of and stuff like that. This is empirically what's going to happen. It's a solid barrier, plain and simple. Don't need to see what it is. I have a plastic greenhouse over there that I showed you of the glass one. I have a plastic one over there that's plastic poles, right? When you buy from a supermarket, set it up. The same thing. The same thing happens, right? We had to go out, and when we have baby plants in there, getting into the grow season because I got a vegetable patch going here, and we have vents to the sides we can open up if we have really hot sunny days, and obviously we open the door, zip it open, pin it open, to allow the heat to escape out of there. Else it would just cook all the plants. The plants would just die. It would take maybe a day or two to be done, right? We have to go check that, because if we left it closed up, it would just heat up and keep heating, And it's not even the most clearest thing. These are like the plastic ones that like the green plastic and then the lines through it, the kind of reinforced plastic. So it's not even fully transparent, right? Not like that glass one I showed earlier would actually give you more, and obviously the thicker panes like that. Now remember, the firmament for it to support itself, even to support its own weight, would have to be really super thick. Like this would really have to be a type of element we never heard of. Construction just never been existed, never discovered this, and it actually had to be really super strong and probably really thick. So yes, it's going to have insulation properties about it. This is this you can Terret can pretend that it wouldn't have that, but that's all he's going to do. Is he's pretending, he's claiming. Wonderman is not claiming that it is that all these things. He's not making that because first, flat earthers need to claim, prove the firmament even exists. And Mikey Smith hasn't done that. All he's ever proven is that he doesn't understand how to do astrophotography or photography in general, and he doesn't understand how to use his equipment. That's the only thing Mikey Smith has ever proven. He's never proved the globe, the firmament. He has proven the globe. He's proven the globe lots of times. He's never proven the Earth to be flat. So yeah, that's it. He's failed. Like he's just failed. There's no proof of the firmament. So flat earthers first need to prove there's a firmament before they can start proving, claiming that they know that there's properties about it. But unfortunately, no. Sorry, Terret, but you failed. Listen, you don't know anything about it. You're making claims that it will conduct things and that convection and stuff like that, and that it would keep and that we wouldn't, that the runaway greenhouse effect wouldn't happen under this big, giant, huge sealed container dome thing. But you're making claims yourself. But you have to claim, you have to provide that what material is this that can have this kind of conductivity. So you're failed. That's it. Motormind's got a point. He doesn't have to get into what the material is. Just the fact is that if it's a sealed dome, the claims are made. Well, then Flat Earth falsifies itself because it would cook itself, plain and simple. So according to their friend, that was about it. That was kind of the end of the conversation. Mikey was in the end of the stream, and he had things to do. It was getting quite late anyways where he was, so he just got off. But then he had, a couple days later, Mikey had his recent live stream. I believe it was just recently he was in. My buddy went in again. And Terret obviously was there because Terret lives and breathes in Mikey's live stream because he's a mod and Mikey's given permission to kick every single person who disagrees with Mikey out instantly. Mikey's just decided he's purifying the echo chamber. That's it. And Terret's more than happy because Terret's a freaking piece of shit troll who can't handle pushback. As you see, he gets absolutely cooked. And here's a shot. This is a screenshot showing what happened. Motormind went in there and he happened to just comment a couple of things. At first, he actually said he wasn't commenting and you're talking to Terret, Terret's there, but Terret got on to him. He said one thing, going, yeah, still looking for, Terret to prove anything he said. And what Terret do? He muted him for the whole entire conversation, whole entire live. That was it. Terret just went, yeah, freaking 24-hour mute. So because he just can't handle it. He knows he got cooked last time. So my buddy said to put these screenshots up, talk about it, get it out there, because his platform is something completely different, and he doesn't do flat earth content. He only went in there because I've told him about it. He thought it'd be funny, and he, like me, understands thermodynamics and heat energy and how heat can be transferred and stuff like that, and knows that the flat earth would just absolutely cook itself. So that's about it. Yeah, there you are. Terret doing what Terret does. Runs and hides like a little bitch. So yeah, folks, that's about it there. Mikey Smith is freaking will do Mikey Smith things. Embarrassing the shit of himself. And Terret being an absolute freaking dumbass, fucking thinks he's a lot more clever than he actually is. And getting owned by a friend of mine, who doesn't even actually do flat earth content, funny enough. But it just shows that even the average person can absolutely freaking cook a freaking Flerf with just some simple basic understanding, and the fact that flat earthers don't understand a fucking thing. But hey, remember, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click that like button. Comment down below. What do you think? Do you think Terret had a point? Do you think Terret got absolutely freaking wrecked? And what do you think of Mikey Smith? I mean, Mikey Smith beaking off of the police officers and the fact that they're onto him, asking about his Flat Earth channel, watching him, but not for the reasons he thinks they are. So that'd be quite interesting. And yeah, as I see, I haven't been up here for a while because I've been busy. I had had the MMA fight that I was preparing for, so I've been kind of busy here, and obviously I got tagged, but whatever, shit happens. It's healing up. So remember, people, Earth's definitely a globe. Space is real, but don't forget, stay curious. Thanks for watching. See you again.
Like I said, flat earthers are stupid. Stop assuming shit. Fuck.